when the robbery occurred. But again, it was out of Temple sheriffs, but they were first spotted in Alhambra.
Danger Tater, welcome.
Their way into LAPD's jurisdiction,
Always first. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So I'm counting what looks to be about half a dozen units of the LAPD that are continuing to chase the two people in this blue Honda along with the air.
Two people.
Overhead.
Skal, welcome back. Chase number 2. JT, welcome. Subatomics, welcome back. Sherzad, Bendo, DJ, Idris, welcome. RG, welcome.
Pero primero fueron encontrados en la ciudad de Alhambra, pero la persecución ya lleva varios minutos, aproximadamente 15 a 20 minutos, y ahora nos encontramos aquí en el área de la policía de Los Ángeles.
Okay, Policía de Los Ángeles.
Aproximadamente 20 millas por hora, pero la policía de Los Ángeles sigue persiguiendo a estos dos sospechosos de robo armado aquí en el área de Harvard Heights.
Laruski, welcome. Don't Do Crack, welcome. Whimsical, welcome. Hunt, welcome. Sean, welcome. Socket, welcome. Jerry, you too. And Stoned Irish, welcome. This is in Los Angeles.
To see if he does it again, but just for a moment, I saw him gesturing, but the window is back up, so a little bit more difficult to see. But the window tint isn't that dark on this car, so I may get a chance to peek inside.
Can we get Eliana in the chat?
But again, originally was wanted out of Temple Sheriffs. The vehicle was first spotted in Alhambra this evening. We first heard about the pursuit, actually from one of our tipsters. So thank you to Open Mike on X for letting me know about this one. And he was telling me it started in Alhambra, and then we made our way here into LAPD's jurisdiction, which is why they are now the ones in pursuit. Currently in Koreatown, again, 6 units of the LAPD that are behind this guy. And there was another incident in Southwest Division, which is right next door.
Oh, we haven't run a prediction yet. Hold on.
So if you're seeing police activity in that area,
do I not have another window?
Suspects are in custody, but this one here continuing here through 8th Street here in the Koreatown area, still continuing on Vermont Avenue. Coming through the intersection there, running the red.
Okay, predictions up.
Again, they're saying these are.
Will this chase last 15 minutes? That's 15 minutes of my uptime. We are 3 minutes in. Sent area, yeah.
Temple City or Temple City, the sheriffs.
Kinda, yeah. He's on Vermont right now.
They are armed, is what I'm hearing right now on the scanner. So for that reason,
they are armed.
Be very careful.
Controllers on, welcome.
We likely won't see a pit maneuver, but we could see spike strips. So if this driver becomes predictable and they can set some spike strips up ahead of him.
Ness said it drove past him. Where did he say that in Discord?
To have the tires deflate, but for now, continuing Vermont Avenue headed northbound. Coming up
we got the night sun.
He waited for the traffic there and now running through the red. Still see 6 units of the LAPD that are behind this guy. Along with the
Can you do it again? No, it's still running. Maybe you need to refresh. It's still going.
I think he might be smoking a cigarette. I thought I saw something in his hand. Again, this was 2 people originally in the car.
He pinged me? I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
But then apparently got back in. I don't know if they both got back in or just one.
I don't think this chase been going on all that long, but I really don't know.
Continuing to evade the LAPD through what was that?
I guess I missed his ping.
Continuing northbound on Vermont Avenue through Koreatown.
Yeah, it's probably this one.
Kind of not incredibly fast speeds, but is dealing with a little bit of traffic here. So hopefully he doesn't get too desperate. Had the green there, but is turning instead. So it looks like we are turning onto Beverly Boulevard from Vermont. So this is going to take us.
See me without a hat? Okay, Coco.
Okay, coming up to a
Kind of car. I'm not sure. Anybody know what this car is?
Okay, right there at the intersection. There he is. So it just got real busy here on this Friday evening. We're also hearing about
an Accord.
They're following in the Lakewood area. So we got an airship down there following that car. We've got this.
It's not going very quick. Yeah. You think it's an Acura?
Southwest Division. But again, these are armed robbery suspects in a blue Honda.
2 in a day. Yin Yang. Welcome. Yeah.
Civic, if I had to guess.
It's been a busy week for police chases.
No information on it being a stolen car, so if that's the case, then officers can run the plates, perhaps try to get a little information on who this vehicle belongs to. But there's also a chance they could be paper plates or plates that don't belong to the vehicle, which is known as cold-plated. And then
cold-plated.
Be able to get any info on the car.
Blue Honda. Okay.
Hard on the brakes.
Yeah, it's a Honda.
Why? Not really sure why. There's not really much.
Is that the car? I think so, Roy. I don't know. I haven't watched the video.
Okay. Tapping on the brakes yet again. Oh, because he's running the red light, of course. Trying to clear the intersection there before he drives right through it. Still about Beverly at Coronado, still in the Westlake area.
We know what the car is wanted for. Well, they said robbery, and then they said it's stolen. I don't know, man. Don't believe them. Don't believe what Eliana says.
Through the Culver City area and eventually ended on the 90 freeway, the Marina Del Rey freeway.
I think he's gonna hit a dead end. Right. This is the type of territory where you hit a dead end.
Okay, so really slowing down here. I wonder if perhaps this is an area that they are
robbery and the vehicle stolen.
A place to try to ditch the car and take off running, or perhaps just give themselves up in a familiar area. That happens as well.
Well.
Temple here at Parkview.
Okay.
Making a westbound turn.
Back out onto a slightly larger road.
So I'm still seeing about 6 units of the LAPD behind this driver. Looks like one of his front headlights is out. So really slow rolling here through the area. It would be a perfect spot for a spike strip. Now, real quick.
Pillbilly, what's up? MK, welcome.
Go ahead,
Eliana's gonna tell us about all this in Spanish. Now she's gone silent. Anyway.
Correct.
Eyeless King, welcome.
Back with you guys here. We were getting a little more information from our assignment desk, just kind of confirming our initial thoughts on this armed robbery suspects. It was Temple City Sheriff's.
They believe they're armed.
We're looking for these guys. They're not the ones that originated the pursuit, though. As far as I know, the chase actually started in Alhambra and made its way into Los Angeles. So that is why LAPD is now the primary agency here in pursuit. We haven't heard about them being on the freeway. They did get very close to getting onto the 110 freeway, but never did, and have been on surface streets ever since. Currently slowing down significantly here, Beverly Boulevard at Park Avenue.
Milky, welcome. Good to see you. We are in the middle of this intense police chase in Los Angeles. Surprise, surprise. Oh, yeah, okay, thanks, Ness. This channel is lower than others. But I appreciate it. Is this the car you drove by? I'm gonna make this thing down. Is this better?
Koreatown, pero como pueden ver, siguen tratando de evadir aquí a la policía en áreas residenciales del área de Westlake. reportando desde el helicóptero, Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52.
Eliana Moreno, Telemundo.
Back with you guys here in English. I was just giving that quick update in Spanish, just pretty much saying that they continue to circle
He honked
the
before
same,
passing me.
residential areas here in Westlake and Koreatown, which
so that
believe
you
that they're familiar with this
don't
area.
hit him?
And I'm saying they because originally it was two
That's
people
crazy.
in the car. It was two people
That's smart.
that were involved in that armed robbery. And officers did say it was two initially.
And now, Homer, you're
they
correct.
Did stop for a quick second. They got out of the car and then got back in. So at that point, I'm not sure if they both got back in or just the driver.
Yeah, DJ Haas, she kind of like she has like a
unclear if it's
deeper
still
voice.
just one or if it's
A little
two.
bit. I don't know.
But both described as male, and again, believed to be armed, who were involved in some sort of robbery out of Temple City's jurisdiction. But they're not the ones that started the pursuit. As far as I know, this chase actually started in Alhambra and made its
They're
way
just going around and
into,
around. They're
Los
going
Angeles,
nowhere.
which is why
You
it
know,
is
there's
now
not like there's a
LAPD that is in pursuit.
destination in mind here. We're just driving aimlessly.
I am hearing them talk about spike strips, so just as we were mentioning before, they may not try a pit because these people are believed to be armed, but a spike strip, they can do that, especially since they're becoming pretty predictable
Okay,
at this
maybe you're
point.
right. Is this
Now
going?
southbound
No, it's not an
Union
entrance to
from
a highway.
Beverly.
I feel like there's a dead end in this guy's future.
So I was just hearing them talk on the scanner, and for a second there they were talking about a pit, but then, of course, remembered that these are possibly armed suspects, so they're not going to do a pit. But
Okay,
again,
they
they're
remembered. They were
highly
like, "Hey, should we do a pit?"
considering
Oh no,
spike
wait,
strip.
remember?
They just have to set it out in
Chi-Chi,
front when
welcome.
the time is right.
No predictions.
And,
Yeah, we
they
had the
have to
prediction
pretty
up
much guess what, they have to
for
pretty much guess what street they're
the
gonna be on.
15-minute
At
one,
this
so
point,
we are almost there.
They're pretty predictable. They're staying in this Westlake area.
Looks like there's a good
So,
chance
we'll
it'll
see
last
if
for
they
15
do try one
minutes.
here at one point. I do hear them trying to coordinate that right now as we make yet another southbound turn, this time Columbia from 3rd.
This person has all their points on yes.
Go ahead, Jamie.
You can get snarky. Is that what I'm doing?
Thank you, Jamie. So we were just getting a little more information from Jamie back at the assignment desk, and she was saying that this chase has in fact been going on for about 40 minutes. So
40
starting
minutes.
just before 10 o'clock, so I would place it at about 9:55, and it did start in Alhambra as we thought.
Everybody
They
hit
got a
thumbs
hit
up if
the
you're on
license
YouTube.
plate. It came back as a wanted vehicle, and that is when the pursuit began. And of course, Alhambra PD does have their own police department, but since we are
And thanks,
outside
Yin Yang.
of the city and we're now in the city
I
of
do
Los
this because I like
Angeles,
watching
it
these
is
and I
now
like watching them
why
with other
LAPD
people.
is in pursuit
Why aren't you live on
of
YouTube?
this
I am.
vehicle. Coming up to Wilshire Boulevard here, a major street here through the area. These are LAPD officers from the Central Division that are still in pursuit. Technically, that's not necessarily their area, but we're right next to their area, so they can stay on it. We, of course, could have
Shinji,
LAPD
welcome.
officers from other jurisdictions like Rampart or Wilshire, for example, take over the pursuit if it continues in these areas. But what I do see now is that the lead unit is a Central Division unit, which is usually downtown Los Angeles area, but we're just a little west of that. Continuing on 7th from Lucas Avenue here in Westlake.
So much chaos on the freeway too. What's going on the freeway? Is people driving crazy?
Thank you, Jamie. Jamie, just a wealth of knowledge today. She's giving me a little bit more information. She says that Alhambra Police, as I was saying, did originate this pursuit, but they actually canceled it because of the erratic driving.
Okay.
Of course, in this case, LAPD was able to take
We
over the
don't like
pursuit,
this
so they are
downtown
now,
stuff.
the lead agency on this.
Oh, it was
and
a big accident?
our lives are about to become a lot more difficult as the chase
Yeah, I don't
makes
want
its
to
way
chase in downtown.
toward the high-rises here in downtown.
This just suddenly
Always
gets
very
really
difficult
difficult for them to
here
follow
from
it
above. And one
because of all the tall
favorite
buildings.
tactics that we have witnessed lately from some of
Eliana
the
is really good at
suspects
this, but
is
it's
that they drive themselves
only
into
so
parking
good.
structures, which of course makes it very difficult for the airship to follow. But in this case, there's still 6 units behind this guy, so he's going to have a tough time
TPA John,
losing
welcome.
these 6 units that are behind him. But unfortunately, I've seen it happen. So we will see what happens in this case.
What's
We're
your
now
Lisa
heading
review? Yo, I
southbound.
only like
So
kind of
if he does
halfway
continue
watched the Lisa
southbound here on
thing.
Hope,
I
eventually
saw it
he's gonna
last
get
week.
all the way to
You
the
know,
10
I don't
freeway.
know.
He's been in that area
Shout out to
before,
Lisa.
but didn't get on the freeway. He actually
And
turned
shout out
onto
to
Washington,
Eliana,
which
yeah.
is the street that's parallel to the 10, but never really got on the freeway, and has been on surface streets the entire time that we've been overhead. But again, this chase has been going on for 40 minutes. Started in Alhambra PD's jurisdiction. Unclear if it was on the freeway at any point while they were behind it, but again, they let it go because of erratic driving. But it was then that the LAPD
Everyone plays
Division
Marvel
picked up
Rivals?
the chase. And again, these 2 individuals in the car are wanted for armed
Eliana
robbery
plays
out of
Marvel
Temple
Rivals.
City.
Okay, we made it to the 15, by the way. Yes. So, congrats to everyone who said yes. We're going to have to start the one for 30 minutes now. Will this last for 30 minutes? It's got to go another like 13 and a half minutes. You'll have 2 minutes to gamble your points on this. You would think she plays GTA. Maybe she plays both.
Making a right-hand turn onto Pico. So this is going to put us very close to Crypto.com. We've been here before. It was before we got overhead.
Thank you, Gamerpool. What's up?
Oh, look at this pedestrian.
Get out of the way,
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, don't be
He's
in
very
any hurry,
taking his
buddy.
time.
Come on, you got to move. This
Took
guy
his time
is
on that.
dangerous.
I would be getting out of that intersection.
Again, these are armed robbery suspects, so this is a very dangerous chase. Even though it's not a very fast mover, these people inside
Lewis,
of the vehicle
what's
are
up?
wanted for committing an armed robbery somewhere in the Temple City area. It's unknown if it was to a business or a residence, but it is 2 very dangerous people that obviously the LAPD wants to take into custody, and originally started with Alhambra Police.
Running
but,
red lights.
The crime itself happened somewhere in Temple City's jurisdiction. The chase has been going on now for about 45
Scott on the stream is
minutes.
pretty damn close to him.
Alhambra
Cool.
PD let it go because it
Heads
was
up for
simply too
yeah.
dangerous. That
Thank
is
you.
when the
I
LAPD
appreciate
Central Division officers picked it up, and we're back on Washington, which is somewhere that they have been
That
before.
might be
It
clutch
was
later.
Before we got overhead, we did hear that they were driving on Washington, and
All right,
that is
most
where we
people are
find
saying
ourselves
no
now, and picking
this
up
time,
speed here
which
as he continues on Washington
I think that
toward
makes
Grand.
sense. It's pretty even though. Okay, actually more points on.
Gonna turn?
Yes,
Sure enough,
right
gonna
now.
turn. This is a
Okay.
turn on an Olive from Washington.
Maybe they should try
We're
a
in
spike
South Los
strip.
Angeles. The
Yeah,
Central
ask her who
City
her
area
rival's
of
main
South
is.
Los Angeles.
Sean, every time, yeah, every time. Wait for the prediction. Yeah, just send.
Buenas noches una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución que se encuentra ahora en el sur de Los Ángeles en las calles Olive y 23. Es la policía de Los Ángeles de la División Central que sigue
All these red
persiguiendo
lights.
a este vehículo, un Honda azul
Lucky
en
to.
color
Ness
con
said that
dos
when this car went by him,
sospechosos
they
de
were
robo
honking
armado,
their
que
horn
están
to
tratando
let
de
him
huir de
know
la policía.
they
Pero
were
es una
coming.
persecución que empezó en la ciudad de Alhambra, pero los oficiales de esa ciudad dejaron ir al vehículo.
So this guy's got
porque
some manners
la
or some
situación se había convertido muy
foresight.
peligrosa, pero después de eso fue que la policía de Los Ángeles se unió a la persecución y ahora son ellos que siguen persiguiendo a estos 2 sospechosos con 6 patrullas de la policía junto con el helicóptero y seguimos
See your vid in
aquí
Discord. I
en
haven't
las
watched it yet because I've been in the middle of
calles,
this,
como
but
Main y Adams, aquí en el
I saw
centro
you
de
tag
Los
me.
Ángeles, pero por un buen tiempo estuvimos en el área de Westlake y Koreatown y por unos minutos entramos ahí al centro de Los Ángeles, pero ahora continúa la persecución.
At least he got out of
hacia el sur
downtown.
de Los Ángeles. Reportando desde el helicóptero, Elian Moreno, del Mundo 52.
yeah, Stoned, you're right.
Back with you guys here in English. I was just saying, talking about some of the areas that we've ventured into during this chase. We were in downtown for just about a minute or two, but we spent a lot of time in Westlake and Koreatown, and now the map says Central City. As you can see, it's the Central City section of South Los Angeles. So we're just south of downtown, continuing on Adams toward San Pedro.
San Pedro? That's on our bingo card.
Coming up to a big intersection here. And again, I'm hearing them talking about potentially laying out some spike strips. They haven't said exactly where, but they're not considering doing a pit maneuver because they believe that these individuals may still be
Hunt,
armed.
the guy died.
Committed that robbery, so they have to treat it as if they are still armed.
He was dead, Hunt. They pronounced him dead at the scene, unfortunately.
Okay. Coming up to Central here, eastbound on Adams. This is Central at Adams. Looks like we're turning.
No chance with that collision. I mean, they shot his ass, I guess. Ileana is the best.
So he does still have his
NBC's
lights
got
on,
the best.
but one of the headlights, the one on the passenger side, actually doesn't work.
Yeah, and one headlight.
And I think one of his taillights might be out as well.
Clear Joker said if you're raised in this area, you have lead exposure from old homes.
The car
Oof.
looks like a Honda Civic to me, older model. And this chase started now 50 minutes ago in the city of Alhambra, but two individuals that are wanted by Temple City Sheriff.
Have they fixed it since then? Big Merle, what's up? Yeah, we got something else tonight.
So what I'm hearing is that officers are trying to confirm how many people are in the car, because again, initially it was two.
Don't do crack, yeah.
About a minute they got out of the car and then got back in, so it's unclear at this point if they both got back in or just one of them. NOC from the chopper.
Okay.
Did you reset the IFB for me before the show? It's
They said there were
a little
two.
Scratchy. Could I try PV?
Did she just say maybe it's not two people?
Thank you.
You're welcome, Eliana.
So this is Jefferson Avalon. You just heard me talking there to our engineering department because we are getting ready for our newscasts at 11 o'clock. We do have one coming up here on
Fur Missile is the police dog.
And Telemundo 52. So, of course, I would love it if you could join us there. But for now, we're going to continue our live stream here as the driver just made that turn on a San Pedro from 31st.
Yo, Noriel. Yo, welcome. Thank you so much. So, if you guys don't know me or seen this before, I'm Snooze, but we, I host watch parties for these police chases, so I did not plan to stream tonight. I just, about 25 minutes ago, sat down because there was a live chase and now we're doing it. So yeah, it's been about 25 minutes. We'll see how this goes, but guy's been driving all around. They suspect that this was a an armed robbery apparently, and this might be a stolen vehicle. I don't know if they stole the vehicle. It's very unclear.
At least one person, maybe two, that were wanted for that original armed robbery out of Temple City that are now leading LAPD Central Division officers on.
Then yeah, guys, follow Noriel if someone didn't already shut him up.
In about an hour's time here in the next couple of minutes.
He saw that you're streaming him. Oh, that's perfect. Avocado, what's up?
Here on Adams.
I feel lucky. If you're on YouTube, hit thumbs up.
Okay. This is Adams and Hill. Adams and Hope. Going to be coming up to some traffic here, setting up for the turn as he comes over the freeway, but it's going to continue. Really doesn't seem to like freeways. We haven't been on one the entire
yeah,
time
still,
that we've
and
been
they
overhead.
count up all the traffic violations
Prior
too.
to us coming overhead,
You don't get off on one of
had
them.
already been going on for about 20 minutes or so. Again, it started with Alhambra Police when license plate reader picked up the car and it came back as a wanted vehicle, and so they tried to
Spacey
pull it
Gracie,
over,
welcome.
but the vehicle failed to yield and the pursuit was on. And eventually they just had to let it go because it was too dangerous. But that is when LAPD took over. So LAPD has been on it ever since. And no talks of CHP getting on it because we haven't been on the freeway, although they could. But at this point, still
On
LAPD that is behind and
We'll
above
get there.
this blue Honda that is now making its way toward Hoover here on Adams. But it looks like we're going to turn.
Okay.
So it looks like it's going to be a northbound turn onto Hoover from Adams.
Yeah, Big Merle, I think he's
Setting
got
up
bigger
for
problems than
another
that, but
turn.
for sure. Mom won't be happy.
Okay, Magnolia and Adams.
This is not a particularly exciting chase, but these things can change instantly. So a lot of times the ones where they just drive around fairly
So now we're at
simple, not
University
doing
Park, so
anything
we're
crazy,
not
they have the
much
craziest
closer
ending.
to the USC area. Okay, this is going to be
Okay.
Vermont at 25th here in the Adams-Normandy area. So we're right next to USC.
Was that a spike?
And again, if you're just joining us,
I didn't
these
see
are
it.
armed robbery suspects. It was originally 2, but we may be down to 1.
Was there a
LAPD
cop?
is still trying to confirm that. I'm still listening to them on the scanner to see if they get an answer on how many people may be in the car. But again, originally it was 2. They got out of the car for a moment before we got overhead, but then got right back in. So
Oh.
unclear at this time.
Wrong side of the
road here for just a moment, but I think he's only doing it to try to make that turn, and there we go. Just made that turn onto 20th Street from Vermont. So what they're saying is that this is the area where he tried to dump the passenger earlier.
Tried
so they
to?
think that this is likely an area that they're familiar with. And the fact that they said that he tried to drop the passenger off earlier leads me to believe that the
tried to and
passenger's still
failed?
in there. But again, they haven't been able to confirm that.
Avocado, yes. it is.
Budlong from 20th, and again, officers were told to be very careful through here because they think this is an area where they might try to either
One more
jump
minute, yeah,
out
we're almost
or,
to 30.
surrender. So we'll see what
Left
happens
turns
here
are
as
bad.
we
Just do
continue,
right turns.
zigzagging our way
I
here
don't
through
know
the
that they're
Adams
going to try and
Normandy
do
area.
this pit on them. We'll see. I think they're going to not do that for now.
Double
anyway.
parked cars.
I mean,
here,
they
so
did that
gotta be
the other
careful
day,
through
even
there.
the whole thing about the armed suspect. They pit that guy and then shot him.
Okay, and we're back on the main.
Did we hit bingo? We haven't hit a bingo in months and months. Game over.
And here we go again. So definitely an area that they seem to be familiar with, just kind of zigzagging.
What's the
on-
point of all this?
on the same streets, circling the same streets. Wow, just went right past that officer.
And yeah, they won't pit right in this spot.
Buenas noches una vez más desde el
They could
helicóptero.
find a
La
spot
persecución
in
ahora
an
continúa aquí en
intersection.
el área de Adams Normandy. El vehículo es ese carro azul, un Honda, con
Polo,
posiblemente
you're
dos
right.
personas todavía a bordo.
I'm gonna try and make a video about
Un
Temu
robo
and
que ocurrió en
Vin
el área de
Diesel.
Temple City, pero la persecución empezó alrededor de las 9:55 de la noche con la policía de Alhambra. La policía de Alhambra eventualmente le dio la persecución a la policía de Los Ángeles y son ellos que siguen persiguiendo a estos individuos aquí en las calles residenciales de Adams, Normandy. So, tapping the brakes, they're still in that same general area where the airship says that they tried to drop somebody off earlier.
Need the Scotch Vin
so
Diesel.
they think they're familiar with it. They think they're going to try it again.
I started working on it. I was working on YouTube videos
So
just a moment ago.
The speeds really
I
haven't
posted
been
one
incredibly
today.
Fast.
I've got
I think the fastest speed I saw
posted
was
one
somewhere
yesterday.
in
I've
the
got
50
more
mile
coming,
an hour range.
thankfully have some material to work with. The scuffed Vin Diesel one's gonna take some time, but I'll figure it out.
I am hearing that there is what appears to be a civilian vehicle that is following behind
No
the LAPD
way.
vehicles. Now, obviously, officers are concerned about that because they don't know if this is a friend that the suspects have called to come pick them up. But in some of these situations,
Are they sure it's
what
not
I've
a
seen is
stringer?
it's actually
Are we sure it's not
independent
Nest?
news photographer that will sometimes trail the pursuit. So they can get that termination shot.
Yeah,
so
Hunt,
that may
they
be,
did.
What that vehicle is,
They
but
did.
it could also be a friend that these suspects have called. So that's
They were
why
just
LAPD
pushing
wants to
cars
figure
out of the
who
way
that is
together.
that's following us in that Dodge car, and try to talk to that person, make sure that it's nothing suspicious. But again, that's
New
a
prediction.
Dodge
Yeah,
that
thank
they're
you,
concerned
thank you,
about
thank
that's trailing the police vehicles. The suspect car here that we've been following is a blue Honda. But yeah, what I'm hearing, it's a Dodge SUV is the one that they're concerned about.
Okay,
that's,
45-minute
trailing
prediction
vehicles.
is up.
So they need to talk to that guy, figure out
Congrats
if,
to everyone
if
who
it's just,
won the
someone who's just trying to
previous
capture images
one.
of the pursuit,
10
or if it is
people.
someone that's potentially trying to help these suspects evade police.
11 people said yes. So yeah, will this last for 45 minutes? That means another 13 minutes from here. Ness pulling up with a Good Samaritan, yeah. I would love it if the person that they're talking about was Good Samaritan, but probably not. Can face a charge. Yeah, getting involved in this is a bad idea. Bad idea. You think he's got another 15? I'm always skeptical, but yeah. This chase could go on forever for all we know. Really. I've seen chases like this go on for hours. Just driving around, same little area. Mr. Tire 2.0, yeah, we need that. I would love to see that. I'm thinking particularly of this chase that I saw years ago. I live streamed it and I just sat here for hours. And we just watched this guy slowly drive around, right?
Seeing them try to pay, even though the speeds are perfect
And
for
then
it because they believe that these individuals are armed.
A
So for
random
that
guy
reason,
in a truck
with a gun
came up
potentially in the
and
vehicle,
tried
they
to
go
stop
on
the chase
to
because
hit
he
the
must have
car
been
and
watching it at home
potentially
for
be
2 hours
nose-to-nose
and he was
with
like,
an
fuck
armed
this, the police
individual.
aren't doing anything.
So for
And
that
then he tried
reason,
to stop
they're
it,
not gonna
right?
try it, but what I am hearing them say is that they would like to set up some spike strips in
Spike
front of the
strips.
car when the time is right.
Okay, well, this guy came in.
when,
He had a
we can
shark
pretty much
decal on
predict
the side
what
of his
road this
truck.
person is gonna be on
And
because
he came
we
up
have,
and
but at
hit
this
the
point,
guy
we
who
really
was the
haven't had
suspect,
a perfect
caused the
opportunity.
chase to
So at
go
this point, we
from,
really haven't seen
you know, pretty
any
lame
pursuit
and boring to like
intervention
crazy as
tactics,
hell
taking place,
in
but the
10
driver continues
seconds.
to run red lights here at about
It was
40
one of the
miles
craziest
an hour
endings to a chase I've
on
ever seen.
Normandy,
Guy
coming
gets
up to
involved and all of
40.
a sudden it's over in like a really messed up way.
Okay, gonna be making another turn.
This guy drove off like a parking, like, I don't know, raised up parking lot, right? He just drove off and flipped his entire car. He flipped the car because this
Okay, just made that
Good
turn.
Samaritan had
All
gotten
available
involved.
for
It
you.
was amazing end to like a super boring chase. So I always think about that in a chase like this one. I'm like, man, that time. Sometimes they end real crazy. Were you live for the one this summer when it was two guys on bikes and they called their biker homies? Yeah. That wasn't that long ago, right? That was like January or February? That was this year. But I was out that night. I was streaming it from my phone.
We continue to follow this police
sitting in my car.
Here and now through South Los Angeles.
It's too bad I wasn't here.
And for everyone watching us online, we're just getting ready here for our newscast coming up at 11 o'clock on both NBCLA.com and Telemundo 52. We, of course, appreciate your viewership if you want to tune in at either one of those. And, of course, we'll continue our live stream here as well as we continue to watch LAPD officers from the Central Division continue to chase these armed robbery suspects through South LA.
Was it 2025? Yeah, I think that was this year. Like, not even very long ago.
Copy that. Going into the Bravo.
ABC's on this too. It doesn't look as good. I just want to make sure we have a backup. Pinned in between the cars? Are we talking about the one with the bikers? Like the guys... This Mr. Tire one was 24. I don't know. Yo, Sir Crispy Frank, thank you for following. I've seen you around in other streams. Welcome.
Copy.
Okay. January 2025. Okay. The Mr. Tire one was March of last year. A little over a year ago. And we're still talking about it. Look at all these cop cars. This is ridiculous. Where's Eliana?
We are, Kathy, and currently making our way southbound here at Normandieth and 60th Streets. And now these are two armed robbery suspects in an older model blue Honda, possibly a Civic. And it's a chase that's actually started with Alhambra police. They were running plates on vehicles, and this car came back as a wanted vehicle. It was wanted by Temple City Sheriffs in connection with an armed robbery. Now, we don't have too much information on the robbery itself, whether it happened at a business or at a residence, but they started chasing the vehicle, and Alhambra police actually backed off because the chase got extremely dangerous. But that is when LAPD Central Division officers picked it up, and they've been on it ever since. It's been going on now for just over an hour. And again, LAPD Central Division officers have been on this one despite moving into different sections of the city, including Westlake, Koreatown, downtown Los Angeles, and now South LA. So that is actually something that LAPD is still trying to figure out, Kathy, because they know that there were two men that were involved in the armed robbery. So initially, they believed that it was those two individuals that were in the car. But we did hear right before we got overhead that the two suspects had actually gotten out of the car and they were running away from it, but then ran back into it. So at that point, it's unclear if they both got back in or if just the driver got back in. So at this point,
so much confusion,
officers are still trying to confirm if they have one or two people on board. And I was just hearing them on the scanner. I think they might have said the vehicle is actually a Hyundai. But
Hyundai?
A Honda or a
I'll be right
Hyundai,
back.
blue in color, older model that continues to avoid LAPD officers here through the South LA area. It's too dangerous, Kathy. They've considered spike strips if they can figure out some of the streets that this individual is going to be on to try to lay out a successful spike strip in front of him. But at this point, a pit maneuver is going to be out of the question because they believe that this is an armed individuals. So for that reason, they don't want to put the lives of the officers in danger by potentially being nose to nose with the suspect when they spin the car
Coconut, thank you.
maneuver. So
Welcome back.
That has not been authorized, but I have heard them authorize a spike strip if they can send
How's
it
your
out,
week? It's been
on a
good. How
street
about
that they
you,
know that this
Gamerpool?
individual is likely going to be circling on. And for a time, it seemed like we were going to
113 bits is very like
was,
specific
circling
number.
the same area off of
Is that just like what you had
in
left?
the Westlake area, so they thought that that was going to be the perfect spot for it. But unfortunately, we've now made our way south from
Okay, on the
there,
wrong
a
side of the road
significant
again.
Distance to the south. And so at this point, they really don't know where this suspect is going to lead them.
And yeah, you're right, Sean. Without a question. Still going. This has been going on for over an hour. I mean, not my stream, but just the chase.
Yeah, very
13 is just
speeds.
nope.
I think the top
13 is
speeds
113
that I
is
saw
just
were
out.
about
Okay.
50 miles an hour, and that didn't last very long.
13's all you got
They
left
brought
now?
it back down to about those 30, 40
I don't know
mile an
what's
hour
going on.
range, which typically we would be talking about how great those speeds are for a pit maneuver. But again, in this
Yeah,
case,
they don't
with
want to do
them
the pit
believing that
move.
he is
Oh, there they
potentially
go.
armed, they're not going to try
Is there a
it.
spike
You
strip
saw
there?
him, kind of zigzag
Where
there
was
on the
it?
street. I think there was a spike strip there.
I
did
didn't
see
see
an
it.
officer there off to the left, and I saw the driver avoid that lane.
There must
that
have
he
been
was
one, but
on.
I didn't
So
see
I
it.
believe there was a spike strip there, and he was able to successfully avoid it.
He went around
unfortunately.
something if he
And now
was
the
able to go
pursuit
around it,
continues here,
if it was that
62nd
simple.
at Cimarron in South Los Angeles.
I really don't know. Did you guys see a spike strip? Anybody see one? Yeah, I couldn't see it, but you
Absolutely,
could see he
and
drove
thankfully he
around
hasn't crashed
something,
into
so it had to
anyone
have
or
been.
anything. But we did see some close calls with a pedestrian in particular.
Yeah,
where he
Hunt, they
came
always-
right up
they
to a
don't
guy who was
usually-
crossing the street. But
They
thankfully
don't
we
do
haven't
that
seen
great of
him,
a job trying
crash
to
into
hide anything.
anything. He is
They just put it
missing
out there
one
and
headlight.
stand.
It's the front passenger.
I think they don't want
headlight.
other cars
I-
driving over. I
I
don't know.
am hearing about his tires. So the officers on the ground
Coconut,
of course,
thank
see
you,
the vehicle a little bit
47
better than
bits.
we can, and I'm hearing them talking about a potential flat tire, maybe even two. So hopefully
Two
we'll
flat
cross
tires?
our
They hit the
fingers
spike
that
strip?
That is the case, because that would definitely aid in bringing things to
Yeah,
an end.
this is
if he
gonna
starts to
end
lose
quickly if
tires.
that's really true. Just like odd numbers. I can appreciate that.
I do a little bit. It seems like we're seeing a little bit more fast speeds.
If
a
you're on
little bit
YouTube,
more
hit the
erratic.
thumbs up.
I know that when this first kicked off with Alhambra Police, that's actually the reason why they let it go. It had gotten just too dangerous for them, but thankfully LAPD was able to take over, and they've been on it
Yeah,
ever
I mean, I
since,
can't see that the
even though
tires
we
are
moved
bad
into
from here.
different sections of the city. It's still LAPD Central Division officers, which is typically the downtown LA area, that continue to
They
chase
look
this
fine
guy.
to me.
And we do have a police airship overhead, hence the night
At least
sun
on
there.
this side.
At no point
Maybe
has
you
he
hit
been
it
the
on.
freeway,
Maybe
so
hit the spike strip with the
CHP
other
hasn't
side.
gotten involved, and there's no talks of them taking over at any point because we are on surface streets. But as you were saying, he seems just a little bit more desperate. Again, the
Flying
officer
Hodori,
behind him,
I guess so.
Apparently, is saying that this guy might
Hasn't
have
been
one
that
flat, if
intense.
not
It's been
one,
kind of
maybe
just
even
like. I
two.
mean, I
So,
guess it is intense. but-
hopefully that will
You know, as
finally
far as
bring
police
things to an
chases
end.
go,
But then
it's
I'm kind of nervous
kinda
about what may happen
low.
at the end, considering
The temperature is
that,
kind of low.
police think that these are armed individuals, and
They do think they're armed and
desperate people
dangerous,
with,
like
with
Chado
a
always says.
weapon, could lead to a bad result here at the termination of this. Let's cross our fingers that this doesn't happen, and that this comes to a peaceful resolution. But continuing to zigzag here through a residential area of South Los Angeles.
Okay, I think a dead end.
Yeah, it was
Is,
out of Temple City
you know,
Sheriff's where we know the robbery occurred.
increasingly more like.
Where did it occur? Did it occur at a residence or did it
I've seen it happen so many times.
And what was
but maybe they know where they are. Maybe they're South LA
unknown,
people and they know.
The crime itself occurred. And then it was in Alhambra that a license plate reader in that city.
And yeah, Big Merle, maybe you're right. Maybe they know where they're going. Whoa,
so
over the sidewalk.
Him over, but of course he failed to yield. The pursuit was on. They chased him for an unknown number of times.
That didn't look like a smart thing to do.
They backed off because it was so
you guys see
reckless,
that?
and that is when LAPD
if he was going 90 plus, we'd actually have a bingo, but I don't think that's going to happen at this point.
I believe the exact start time was
I think there's no shot that he goes 90 plus, so... We're not going to get a bingo. But we came pretty close. All right, 45 minutes. Let's go. All right.
I did, Kathy. It was about 6. So we did see 6 units of the LAPD that were behind.
We got to do the 60-minute one. Most people said, or the majority of points were on yes, 10 to 8 people.
Trailing that line of officers was an unknown civilian vehicle. It was described as a Dodge SUV. So they weren't sure if that was just somebody who was perhaps just trying to document.
We had a bingo on the replay,
really? Or if it was somebody that the suspects had called to try to pick them up at some point. So officers wanted to stop that car. I'm sure they
it's a more or less, and that's more or less on 89.5 and smashing the left.
What the heck they were doing, trailing this line of officers.
That more than 89.5 would be a demon.
It was a pursuit that started in Alhambra, has been going on now for over an hour. 6 units of the LAPD still in pursuit. At one point, it did go into surveillance mode, which was no units and helicopter only. But because the speeds have decreased significantly, we do now see those 6 units behind the suspect vehicle.
I mean, he's like halfway there. But I don't know these streets are going to be conducive to it. He should go get on the freeway. And Gamerpool is right. Sometimes the speedometer trips out.
Yeah, we can't really tell.
Yeah, Big Merle, I can't.
Going as slow as he is not really affecting him that much.
I guess Eliana's talking about the same thing.
I looked at the driver's side because we're on this side, and I don't really see any damage to the tires.
There's nothing here, but I guess that when we saw him go, he moved around, like he drove around this spike strip that they had laid out. Maybe that side of the car got hit.
So this car's just a mess.
Maybe he couldn't get all the way around.
It's only going to be a matter of time before he has some sort of issue. I believe he's also dragging a portion of the bumper, of the front bumper, on the passenger side.
Oh, is it? Man, we've only seen this side of the car the whole time. Pretty much.
That it's time to give up,
okay, here we go.
Gas, because again, this has been going on now for quite some time. I'm putting it at about an hour 10, an hour 20.
Like Ness said, they're turning in. No, they're just going on the sidewalk. U-turn time.
And yeah, on the sidewalk, but that gave
me a chance to look block him?
At that passenger tire.
They are.
It did look flat to me, and I did see the damage there on the
They are.
The bumper. My pilot, James Pollard, is going to bring us around so that we can see the vehicle
Come
there
on,
right
pilot
under
James
the
Pollard.
tree. And he is up on the sidewalk. You see that he is being surrounded here by LAPD officers. But this is really their opportunity to slow things down. Now that the car has come to a stop.
Now the police chief will review the
get out of their vehicles. They will draw their weapons.
I'm surprised he didn't just. Oh, he couldn't keep driving. They did block him because his truck's here.
They will start to make call-outs to the car to try to get the people or person inside.
The one tree.
To peacefully surrender.
Right. This always happens. There's like James Pollard has to go the long way. He's going the fucking long way.
Yeah, they know that there were 2 people involved in that original robbery, so they assumed that both of them were in the car.
Is this just a standoff right now?
But one of the questions that LAPD officers were trying to get answered was,
What,
is
4
it still
for 4
2
on
people in the
prediction?
car? And Didn't really get an
I'm
answer
pretty
on that.
sure.
Of course, it's at least one, the driver, who we know is a male because we could see him.
I mean, they didn't fully 100% block him
The
in
tint
there.
wasn't that
I guess
dark
they
on this
kind of
car,
did.
So it did give me a chance to look, but I couldn't really make out
Because
if
the
it was
tree's in the
passenger.
way. There's
And
nowhere
there's
you
the
could
car as we
go.
come around. I think
Once he
he's
got
just
past the
jammed.
tree.
So I think he just.
But wait, the
just
door
jammed
is in
himself
front.
there
Wait, he
between the
needs to.
tree and that building,
Is there
and
space
that
in
is
between?
what
There
has
must
brought
be.
it to a stop.
There's space in
He's
between
not
this
gonna be
door
able
and
to
this
open up
tree
that
enough to
driver's
get
side
out.
door, though, so we will likely see him come out the passenger side door when he does
Yeah, right.
surrender.
I want to look for if any of the other ones have a better angle. Okay, they do have a slightly better angle, I think.
And it's very difficult to see, but I do see the driver's hand, at least one of them. And we're trying to work around the other helicopters here.
You can see his hand out, right?
To get over the car a little bit better. Of course, the driver's side part of the vehicle is going to be completely jammed, so he's going to have to climb over the seats and climb out the passenger side.
All right, I'm going to listen to the guy on ABC. Hold on, this might be loud for a second. Oh, there's no audio. There's no audio. We'll keep listening to Eliana.
Or the driver, that is still unknown to us, but we're going to find out very soon here as the pursuit has come to a stop here on Gramercy and 62nd
Every
Street
news station's
South
there,
Los
I think,
Angeles.
but or they were. Yeah, they're still showing it on KTLA as well. All right, so he's out over here.
Yeah, so there's really no way for the
Is
driver
he
to
hanging
open his
out the
door.
window?
Even if you try to climb to the back seat, I think
There's
the
two
rear,
of them.
side,
Okay, so
door is
his
also
hands.
jammed.
This
But I
guy's
do see
hanging out the
one
window
person
right
coming
now.
out right now. I see him standing up against the side of the building there.
Or is he actually out of the car? I think he's on top of the car. He's standing on the
as
car.
far away from the vehicle as possible. And again, at this point, we don't know if this is the driver.
What's he
or
running
the
for?
passenger.
ALS. They were
But,
okay. He's
after all
out
the
on the
callouts are
ground.
made, that is when the officers will approach the vehicle just to clear it to make sure that there is nobody else inside.
He's getting out NASCAR style. He was. No bingo. Yeah, no way. Most people said yes on this one. Wow. Yo, Thomas Young, welcome. I know Laruski's cashing tonight. He's greening out big time. Okay. 16,000 points go to Sean. Of course, Sean was on the no. Sean may have lost some points today,
Yeah,
but he gets him by the end.
He's going to be our only guy. So they have him there. They're searching his person right now to make sure that he doesn't have a weapon on
So
him
the
or
other guy's
anything else
still
that
in
could
the
harm
car.
officers. And I do
They're coming
see
over
that
here, though.
secondary team of officers that is clearing the car right now. They looked at the seats. There's nobody there, but of course they always have to pop the trunk
But wait,
to
isn't
make sure that nobody is hiding in the trunk. But if they don't find anyone there, then it does appear
this
that
guy?
the
Wait, what
driver,
happened?
was the only person
He was
in
the only
vehicle.
one.
In the pursuit,
So this
during
isn't
the
a
time
hand.
that
I thought
we
this
were
was a hand.
overhead,
Okay.
and he must have dropped off his passenger. At
You're
some
up
point.
1K. Okay. You just bet more on no each time? All right, JT, take it easy.
Today's National Exercise Day, everyone. While we all know staying active is good for us.
Okay. Autoplay. Eliana's gone. There's no audio on this one. KTLA, they have audio?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Daisy, thank you. Good job.
They still working on this? Okay. Nothing in the trunk. Well, there's stuff in the trunk, but not a person. You watch different feeds and different audios. Yeah, I just try my best. I just try to play producer here, so I've got all the feeds up on my screens, and I bring over whichever one I think looks the best, Right now we are mixing audio between them because there is no audio on this one, and there is audio on KTLA, but they're looking basically at the same thing. I'll just leave this. Almost 1 hour stream, yeah. It's just cool. Got a pretty long chase. Normally same feed, same audio. Right. But basically, I'm just looking for whoever has the best angle and is not playing replays, like Sean said. This one didn't have much to replay. And MVC generally doesn't do replays, so that's why I like Eliana and MVC. Here's a stringer out here on the ground. They can go talk to him. Okay. I think that's it. I'm going to go eat some food. Everyone. Well, they're still on it over here, but there's nothing going on. Okay. Defense wins championships. Tell that to Nico Harrison. I guess he's the one telling us. So, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay. A win for the police. They got it done. Nobody got hurt. Everything good.
Go ahead.
Like to see it end that way at least. Good night, Ness, Noriel. Noriel, thank you again for the raid. We are...
thank you,
I'm going to get out of here.
For the help, and sorry about that info. Radios were kind of scratchy, but I appreciate it.